The Warlock's Tower has come a long way, but we are still far from done. In this episode, we'll knock out the exterior details of the Apothecary. That includes altering the shape of this building, don't worry, not by much, adding a storage area, throwing up some details on the observation tower, trim out the platform in place of battlements, and finally, plant the Apothecary's garden. I did a live stream on some of this stuff, but for the first 40 minutes or so, I didn't have my volume on. So we're gonna blow through this footage here with a quick time lapse of how the building changed. I destroyed the southwestern corner because I had plans to open it up more, but I didn't like the look of it. So I moved on to add a pop out on the right side instead and replace the wall I destroyed. After that, I punched a hole in the roof to install a skylight. Utilizing the fine-tuned rotation, I just took the window of choice and tilted it back to match the pitch of the roof. By then, I was informed that my audio had not been working on the stream and I corrected the issue. So we're going to pick up where I started the roof peak and other roof details to give that busy, wizardly look. I think that's going to be way better. And that goes to the end there, perfect. Toss these back in there, backfill that roof. Oh yeah, see, there we go. A little bit of playing around and it all comes together. Nice. All right, the roof over here now. Dude, it's raining again? Wow. Come on, come on. Maybe? Oh, we can. There we go. Okay, it really was that simple. Nice. Okay, moving forward. I just got to get this last one in. Come back to our roof block. We'll fill this in. Let's go ahead and get rid of that, that, and that. And then we'll reach out here. We'll throw a platform in. Now we should be able to get this in there. Now we want this to come to the end. So I think that's the spot. Yep, perfect. Now to do the same thing on this roof. That should be the right height there. Right there. And that is the correct height. Awesome. So having rows of those, like every, I don't know, 10 blocks, maybe the next one will trim this window right here, and then the next one would be on this side, and then the next one would probably be lined up with this peak. That might look pretty cool, especially from afar. Okay, cool. So now you can kind of envision that and what that's going to look like. So with this observation tower, I have some trim ideas, and we are going to be utilizing that hollow hulls block for this. So outline this thing. Because we got to make it match, right? We got to make the rest of the tower match what's going on down below with the foundation and with the overall tower. Because I have a lot of this trim mixed in there. So we got to carry that pattern through, right? And what we might be able to do, I don't know how this is going to look. I haven't tried this, but you get to see the discovery of it in real time. So we'll come this way. We'll use a red marble. We'll extend it out by one, creating that extra layer, that extra depth. Yeah, and then maybe grab this roof block, jump down, add a bottom layer, jump back up. That is, well, I guess it's fine. I almost thought it stuck out too far. I like the direction it's going. I don't necessarily like the execution. So let's pull this back. Okay. So that would be the other option. And that's not bad. That's actually kind of cool. Okay. I think that's good. We could add something right here. Flowers? Do we put flowers there? But I don't know. Let's leave it for now and let's get the other sides done like this. And then we can figure out what we're going to do next. we go. Okay, let's get all these working platforms cleaned up and we'll head to bed so we have that natural light. That felt great. Thanks for asking. So maybe we can, let me see, I need a pointer. That's what I need. So those red columns on either side of the window coming down, I think we should extend those down another 1 or 2 just to kind of give them the look of spires. You know, they're hanging lower than everything else, so they're like points. I think that would be pretty cool. And then we got to figure out how we're going to trim out the staircase exterior as well. Now, I'm a little hesitant to do that at the moment because I want to finish that design down there, that red trim, because that's going to come up this tower. It's going to get skinnier and then it's going to widen again. So with that being said, I need to figure out a design to trim the staircase as well that's similar, but not exactly the same. Okay, so now that we kind of got an idea of what we're working with, let's come back down here and figure out how we're going to turn this into something similar like the tower. And I think to start, we're going to have to extend the soffits on our roof in order to do this, but that's fine. It's super easy. What we're going to do here, though, is pretty much the same thing that we did up there, right? So we're going to add this extra tier of red marble. Do that here, too. Reach. There we go. That scared me, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, that's fine. I think that's gonna look just fine. All right, so do we do the same down here? Would this look goofy? You know, that's not terrible. I really wish they would have like rounded Wait a minute, didn't they just add some sort of beam that I'd be able to flip on its side? Oh, let's go check. Okay, where did I see that beam? Okay, so there's this, but that is square. What if we crafted some of these and turned them on their side and stuck them in there? Those are kind of expensive. I mean, I can make more metal sheets, but the charcoal, I mean, I can make that too, I guess. It's just, do I really want to use the materials for that? You know, that's the question. So what I'll do is I'll make one for now. We'll head back, we'll stick it in, see what it looks like. If it looks good, then we'll craft some more. And this clipping through the backside, or I guess the inside, I'm not too worried about. That's generally pretty easy to hide with interior decorations. So not a big deal there. So rotate and rotate. So it's not sticking out far enough. So what I would have to do at that point is place a block like that, and then place this through that block right there. Now delete that. It does need to be tilted down a little bit more, but look at that. I mean, the color's not that big of a deal. It actually kind of looks good though, doesn't it? And then there's your round beams, right? You know, I think I'm totally okay with that. All right, looks like this one needs to be fixed. Looks like that last one needs to be fixed as well. Those aren't exactly perfect. Doesn't matter. From a distance, won't even be able to tell. Besides that, there's nowhere to walk over there, so nobody's walking out there and looking at it and going, ooh, that one's crooked. Yeah, see, that doesn't look bad. It's actually pretty cool. And it's so simple, too, you know? Like, that's the thing. Sometimes it's like really simple details that just bring the build together. It often does not take a lot, you know? It's just trying to capture an image of what's inside your mind. And how do you do that? Sometimes it is the most simplest way. I couldn't finish these railings earlier because my resources ran out. But now that all my steel bars were finished smelting, I was able to go back and finish the railings on my roof. I didn't measure the spaces between these perfectly, but instead I just placed them to fit the design of the roof and skylight. And I love the added look that it gives. All right, I did some playing around here, changed up the color palette, if you will, of this place. I think I'm liking this more. That shroud wood was cool, but it wasn't dark enough for me. I wanted something darker than that. I played around with a few different blocks, but ultimately I settled on this here. The next step is to create the entryway. Yep, just like that, but we want this too thick. That actually is not right, but that looks kind of cool though, doesn't it? Oh yeah, that's sweet. It matches the top. Give it some jagged edges. Okay, that's not exactly what I was going for, but you know what? I'm gonna roll with that. All right, so now we can pop some windows in, right? We need some natural light in there. We'll get 2 in there. We're not gonna put any windows here because I'm gonna build like an awning here, kind of like an outdoor storage. Let's see, so up top here, if we were to go... Okay, that's looking all right. And on this side as well. Okay, get some light in there. That looks good. We're gonna try a couple different materials here. So first, we're gonna try this tarred straw. Come out just like that. And we'll do it by 2. All right, then we'll throw a pillar up right here. Ah, brilliant. It's perfect. And then I guess we can connect these. There? Does that look all right? Sure. I played around with a few designs for the windows. These are the windows that are on the tower for the staircase. This is a simple but effective design that we're gonna go with. So I'm gonna put these up on all the other ones and then we'll move on to the next task. All right, let's light up this tower properly. Grab this, put it on every face in front of a window. This window is a little taller than the other one because of the roof by it, but that's fine. Now at the top up here, should I continue this beam all the way to the ceiling? I think so. All right, the next step here is to get this platform trimmed out. Now, there's a bunch of different things that we can do here, and that's the difficult part. Too many choices. All right, I got it. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna layer these across. Come on, snapping, work with me. Work with me, snapping. Okay, snapping off. So much easier. Okay. Now, we're gonna grab our normal granite, not our polished granite. We're gonna throw this trim across the top of it. Like that. Gotta make sure we get this corner right. So we'll bring that out there and that one there. And now we'll do the same pattern that we did earlier on the 6. So we want 5 in between. 3, 4, 5. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam. Okay, now we're gonna bring all of these down. Okay, I'm gonna need to get a little bit lower than this because some of these are gonna be longer than the others on the bottom. But I can wait until I get the rest of this done and I can lower this platform and do that. So now the next step, let's see here. We're gonna bring this out by 1 on every one of these columns. We'll jump back up here and raise those up. Okay, now right here, we're gonna bring these across. Okay, looking good. Now we're just gonna thicken all of that up by 1. All right, now we're gonna hop back up here. We're gonna bring this up 1 more. And we'll widen it by 1 as well. Okay, I'm gonna take that middle one out. I'm gonna put a hollow halls block in there. Yep, cool. Now we can get rid of all of these platforms here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool. There's still more to do on this platform here. So remember, this is the Apothecary. So we got to throw some vegetation, some plants out here. Let's go ahead and grab some of these. Now I was kind of playing around with this over at my main base, and hopefully I can remember how I did it because it was pretty sweet. So I'll throw some soil down first. Actually, I gotta lay a block down. Like that. And we'll trim it as needed. Then we'll raise this up 1 more. Like that. Alright. Now our wooden bathtub here. We're gonna turn this into a planter. Should be pretty cool. So we're gonna utilize the fine-tune rotation. And we're gonna dip this thing towards us. Like that. And we're gonna push it back just a little bit. I'd say about there. And grab our soil and fill this in. There's that spot. Bring that all the way over, just like that. And then we can clean this up here. Get that one cleaned up. All right, now we grab this moss and we kind of hide that. Bring this around onto this side. get rid of this bottom layer now. Now, it doesn't really matter what we put back here because it's going to be going away anyways. See there? Yep. Now we can get rid of this back here. Sure, yeah. Just kind of place this like that. Yeah, I think I do want to bring a couple more of those out. Now the question is, do we gap them or do we just marry them up next to each other all the way down, right? In there, so we'd be able to get 2 more in. Okay, let's go ahead and roll with that for now. And like I always say, if something just doesn't look that good, or we like it in a moment and then we realize later that we don't like it, or it looks like dog water, it's easy to change, you know? All right, just start by packing it in here. We'll clean it up in a minute. Yep, that works. Okay, so let's bring some shelves down. We're kind of all over the place here, but that's fine. So we'll put that one up top, put this one down low, like that. Now here, I was thinking, do I leave this open and then we just sink this in the ground a little bit, like that? And that's fine, because this is just going to be a little sheltered area to keep things dry, right? So we'll slap some barrels in there. Who knows what else? Just whatever we can to fill it, to make it look like a storage area. What can we put in there now? Hey, look, we got a barrel right here. Nice. Right. Don't like that. Nope, don't like that at all. Can you put it down there? Yeah, that's cool. This one can go... Sure. We'll just put it there. Okay, maybe put a crate on top of this thing too. Yeah, that works. Grab this here. We'll just raise this up. Now, I was playing with this at my main base, and it looked pretty cool. See if I can make it happen here too. Sometimes you'll do something and it looks good, and then you forget how you did it. You're like, wait a minute, how the hell did I do that the first time? Okay, so now what we can do is get rid of this. All right, now the soil. I guess we can use this and just shave it off. It'll probably be faster, huh? Detailing takes so much time, but it's a lot of fun. We'll come in with this moss. Oh yeah, look at that. That's cool. Maybe we can get rid of that. Sure. Yeah, that works. That's just fine. I don't know why I was worried about that. Not too high. There we go. Yeah, that's cool. Look what we created. I mean, it's simple, right? But it looks good. Cool. And now we can plant in the middle of this thing. So we'll do a little bit of flax. Let's see. And this isn't going to be organized. We're just going to kind of mix some things in here. Give it a variety. Well, I guess we'll let that grow, see how it looks. Okay, so if we bring this straight across this way, that might work to our advantage. So we'll lay this out lengthwise so we know what we're working with here. Go there and then dump this thing forward just like we've been doing. So it looks like that's our spot there. And now we can add there. Oh man, I think we just got it. Yeah, there. Oh yeah, just a little bit of patience. The ultimate test. Please stay. Stay, cross your fingers. Nice. There we go. Now we'll grab our moss, just like we did on the other one. There we go. Maybe creep this up just a little bit. And maybe up this wall a little bit as well. I probably shouldn't get too carried away with that because we still need to detail this thing, this tower. We'll do a little bit. And then, shoot, should we like put a lantern back here? The only thing is like what kind and how? It's always a question, isn't it? I was working on this light here. I have not solved the problem that I encountered with it. So we're not going to start there exactly. So we're just going to start at the front door here. We're just going to push through this and get this all 100% decorated. I've already thrown some up, but it's not complete yet. I think I want to start by putting in some sort of path, just like a path block. Nothing crazy. I just want to change it up a little bit. I'm just going to come through here with my single block and carve a path. Okay, so we got a couple of options here. We can use this normal granite block, right? That will keep it the same color, but what it'll do is give it a different texture. So it's similar, but slightly different, right? And it's kind of decorative, so it makes sense as a path block. See, that's kind of cool. Or we can get wild with it and we can throw something like this castle wall block up. It's more of a path texture block, but it's got some of that moss mixed in there, you know, from a little bit of moisture. It does rain up in these mountains quite often. So we could do that one too. And that one's kind of cool because it matches everything around here. You know, oh no, I can't believe I'm thinking about this, but I really like that. Because this is the Apothecary and there's a bunch of vegetation around here, almost utilizing this block as the main floor and then maybe using this as the path block or even this as the path block. Oh no, why'd I think of that? Why do I do this to myself? Okay, I like that idea too much to ignore it. Oh man, that's a lot. Yep, I'm doing it. I'm absolutely doing it. So, with that being said, I am just going to get this hammered out real quick, and I'll bring you back when I'm done. There's no sense in having you guys watch me do that. See you in a second. Okay, so I've gotten all that complete, and what I did here was I went with that castle wall block like we were discussing, and then I went with the polished granite. And I made my path here, but then what I did is I came in and I broke it up on the edges to where it kind of looks like it's been roughed up. Right? And it just gives it a simple look of being worn down over time, and it's not exactly perfect, right? But you can kind of see the path there. Kind of cool. Nothing crazy, but, you know, just something to give some variation of blocks in there. All right, moving on. And we'll go ahead and add a well here too. But Spectre, how does the well work? This tower is floating in the air, you might ask. By magic. Duh, it's a wizard's tower. All right. So check this out. We got this drying rack, right? With this drying rack like that. Then we grab our old hammer slammer and we throw some of these plated blocks down. I'd say 3 by 3 should be enough. Just like that, right? Tracking so far? Then we're gonna grab another one of these drying racks. And we're gonna marry this up to the other one facing inward like that, right? Then we grab our beehive and we place that sucker in there. Look at what we got. Neat, simple and effective. Let's build another one. So we'll put this one there. Grab our hammer and our other drying rack. Rotate, make sure those roofs are gonna marry up nicely. Right. Not there. Let's actually rotate this one to where the hole is facing out as well. Bam. Kind of cool, huh? Yeah, I like it. See how these roots are growing out like that? Like you can tell it's not all the way in there. I actually really appreciate that because it makes it look more earthy and it's just another layer of detail. I think it's cool. Okay, so we're just about done with out here. We just got to figure out this damn light. Okay, I guess that is the next task. All right, I think I got it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna place this wooden banister there, and then we're gonna place this steel banister on top of that. And then we're going to place this wooden banister on top of that steel banister. We're gonna utilize our fine-tuned position, and we're just gonna bring this bad boy down to that first tier right there. You see it? Yeah, right there. Bam, like that, right? And then we're gonna take this wooden railing and we're gonna marry this up to that right there. Now we're gonna grab our other steel banister. Okay, now we're gonna grab our lantern. We wanna get this inside of there. So I think what we can do is place a block. Dude, I think it's not really centered, is it? That's fine. We will place 2 blocks then. Place that one there. And I sneak that in there. I sure can. Get rid of those 2. The bottom of that metal banister is right in there. We want to try and center this up as best as we can. Right there. That does not look centered, does it? There we go. Yeah, that ain't too bad. I can live with that. Next task. The staircase. Okay, we're not going to do all of this right now, but we are going to lay it out. We're going to lay out its position, how wide we want it, exactly where we want it to start going up, which I'm not entirely sure on. Something like that, I guess. There you go, something like that. And this is a project for another time because this staircase in itself is going to require a tremendous amount of work and detailing up on the edge of it, basically creating a railing out of stone, but then decorating it like the rest of the exterior tower as well, or even like this wall here. But now we kind of know where it's going to go. And once we start moving our way up this tower, we have a very basic template to work with. Okay, so before we go up there though, we still need to decorate the interior of this thing. This should be cool, and I'm going to enjoy this. But that'll be saved for next episode. Thank you for hanging out for a bit, and I'll see you next time. Take care. That is not low enough, is it? It is not? We might have to figure out another way to hide that. No, that is not what I wanted to do. No! No! That happens so frequently, more than I would like to admit. Let's see, what if we go there? Can we hit this thing at an angle from here? We cannot. And we'll just stretch this out. No. Damn it. There we go. Damn it. No. Yeah, there we go. No, don't do it. You didn't see anything. That never happened. Coming around to this side. Because what I'm doing up here to this observation tower. No, in the window, in the window. Missed every window. Damn, look at that thing. Let's pull that out of there. Too big, too big. Oh no. Oh, getting some lag. This is a dangerous place to get lag. Because I could very easily end up down there. Like that. At least my glider worked. Jeez.